Today, we have a number of episodes that are pure fun and some that deep dive into the ethics of Trek. Thanks for joining me again on Best of Trek, Worst of Trek. I'm your host, Dustin Wing. Starting us off at 223, Inception, or Extreme Measures. As the Dominion War nears its end, Odo's not doing so good after being infected by Section 31's virus to kill the Founders. Julian has no luck with a cure and instead gets Miles to help him create a trap, in hopes of extracting a cure from Section 31 itself. Which brings back Section 31's original big bad in William Sadler's final portrayal in the role. When interrogated for the cure he knows, Sloan activates a kill implant to avoid giving up his secrets. The episode then gives us a montage of Julian and Miles building tech that will allow them to go into Sloan's mind via Romulan mind probes. Which is a nitpick I have with the episode. It said they have an hour before his brain dies, and Starfleet's greatest engineer is able to throw this theoretical device together with 43 minutes to spare. Truly a miracle worker. And quite a bit of convenience. Upon entering the mind of Sloan, they're treated to his poor relationship with his wife and family, and his possible real name being Luther. After a false ending and questioning the meaning of life, the two do find Section 31's treasure trove of secrets, including a cure for Odo. The dynamic duo almost gets sidetracked into dying with him by the intelligence they uncover, but manage to escape and return Odo to full form. While an absolutely great episode of info covering Section 31, the episode is overall slow and probably the weakest of the 3 DS9 episodes showing off the Federation's shadow organization. Experiencing a different existence at 222, shifting reality, or parallels, as Worf returns as champion from a Batleth tournament and begrudgingly deals with his surprise birthday party once back on the Enterprise. Only things keep changing on him, first in small ways, and Worf thinks it's just him. It's not until he's dealing with Dr. Ogawa, his wife Deanna, and kids he's never known that it starts to become clear he's shifting realities. In an attempt to set things right, the Enterprise only breaks the barrier between realities further when hundreds of thousands of different versions of the ship start coexisting in the same universe. Worf is returned to his reality after being deterred by a Borg-damaged D, though. This is one of Season 7 TNG's high points, with awesome exploration of a classic sci-fi trope, and it's just pure fun to watch a few times and noticing all the little things that change in the background of the episode. Finding a baby on your doorstep at 221, growing pains, or The Abandon, one of DS9's first episodes fleshing out the Dominion, as Quark unknowingly takes possession of a baby Jem'Hadar in wreckage he buys from the recurring Boslik freighter captain. As the fast-growing child ages before their eyes, the DS9 crew learn some of the features of the Jem'Hadar, like addiction to Ketracel White, and Odo finds himself the only thing standing between his violent tendencies and the people living on DS9. It's a milestone in Odo's growth as a character as he begrudgingly accepts that he is a founder, even if he doesn't want to be, something that will stay with him till the character's very last moments of the show. This is some of Avery Brooks' finest directing work, questioning what love even is at 220, Out of Reach, or Lessons. After 6 seasons, Picard gets a chance at more than just a passing love interest. Upon first meeting with Darren after being denied his Earl Grey, I always found it odd that a captain hasn't met a new lieutenant commander on his ship before they take their station. But it quickly becomes obvious to Picard that there's something about Darren that intrigues him. Maybe it's just that she's a stand-in for Beverly without all the messy, I was the reason your husband got killed stuff. Maybe it's that she also shares his later-in-life love of music. And maybe he just found someone that was right for him. Unfortunately, Picard's aversion to commitment and an away mission that nearly gets Darren killed saving an outpost makes this love a thing that can never be. Jean-Luc won't compromise his commitment to Starfleet even for his own wants and needs, and generally slips back a few seasons in character development. This puts some distance between him and the family he never really had from Inner Light that started him thinking more about emotional parts of existence. This episode has so many touching moments and leaves you feeling for Picard. Maybe he'll finally find his true love in his synthetic 90s in the 25th century. Reaching for that high castle at 219. Even more Nazis! Or Stormfront. Yes, we've picked this weird Enterprise two-parter as the best Trek episode dealing directly with Nazis. The story has more Trek elements than any previous entry, closing out the Season 3 arc and the temporal Cold War. And it's a genuine pleasure to watch Archer figure out exactly what's going on. Opening up, everyone's trying to figure out what's happening after closing last season with the destruction of the Xindi probe, and thinking Archer is dead. Upon getting no response from Starfleet HQ, Trip and Mayweather try going down in a shuttle pod, only to be met with World War II planes shooting at them. A badly time-deformed Daniels shows up out of nowhere to warn them about how this is one of many battles in the now temporal hot war. Meanwhile, Archer wakes up in the middle of aliens wearing Nazi uniforms and gets rescued with a bullet for his trouble by Mafia-style resistance fighters, and dropped into the middle of an unfamiliar 1940s New York City. As if this isn't enough, my one gripe with these episodes is Silic showing up without explanation as to how he got on Enterprise 200 years in the past. That being said, his final outing actually helping Archer is wonderful to watch, and gives John Fleck his only opportunity in Trek to go without makeup for a minute, even if it ends in his death. The whole thing is an attempt by a time-traveling race to destabilize Earth before the Federation can exist, but their leader is no one-dimensional villain. He even offers to partner with Archer to get them all back to their proper centuries. He declines and uses a horribly battle-damaged Enterprise to shut down the Nazi time portal and reset the timeline. For mid-2000s CGI, these scenes are quite good, and the battle damage really gets you to feel the continuity from last season. Alicia Travers is an excellent character acclimating Archer to the timeline, and the story itself keeps moving with just the right amounts of action and emotional moments. The ending of Enterprise finally getting all the way home is reminiscent of Voyager's final episode, but thankfully, this is only the beginning of Enterprise's excellent fourth season. Solving a murder at 217. Clue. Or Meld. Tom continues his Season 2 bad boy routine with my favorite stunt of starting a betting pool, but Chakotay doesn't find it amusing. Meanwhile, Torres finds body parts in an engineering conduit, starting a murder investigation, where the killer even admits to the crime fairly early in the searching for the truth. And it's none other than horror movie legend Brad Dourif as former Maquis crewman Suitor, even though Tuvok now has the traditional clue evidence in suspect, weapon, and location of the crime. He's not satisfied. Without a confessed motive, it behooves his Vulcan logic. He also thinks he can use some of his Vulcan discipline to help stabilize Suitor's violent tendencies through a mind meld. This is where the episode goes from interesting to amazing, as the meld does stabilize Suitor, but opens Tuvok up to these hard-to-control emotions, and results in the Doctor having to reset his emotional barriers through Vulcan medicine. It gives Tim Russ a chance to do some of his best acting in the run of the show, as he loses it, and in the end debates morality with Suitor. There's some amazing lighting cues in the episode as whoever the bad guy at the moment is in the darkness, while the good guy is well lit. One of Trek's best attempts at the horror genre. Creating an ethical dilemma at 216, The Island, or Similitude. An episode I can't watch without crying. The only thing that keeps it from being ranked higher is the B-plot of the episode. Getting particles off the hull just isn't that interesting, even if the progression of them building up is decent CGI. Trip tries to redefine the laws of expanse warp physics when it nearly destroys the ship, and his last-minute heroics save it but cause him a nasty bang on the head he shouldn't otherwise wake up from. That is, if Phlox wasn't Enterprise's physician. One of the many living creatures in his medical menagerie can actually help create a clone of other living things. In this case, for the questionable practice of harvesting brain tissue to save Trip's life during this crucial mission for Earth. The really complicated part of the ordeal is that they have to watch a fast-aging clone grow up and even starts remembering Trip's real memories, which leads nearly everyone except Archer to question whether the Tuvix solution is the correct one. Jonathan clearly hasn't piled on enough PTSD in this season and gives the order that brings the episode full circle to the memorial service it opened on. One of Trek's many human condition episodes, questioning procedures that may be possible within our next century. But is it morally and ethically okay to grow a conscious being to slaughter for parts?
Ah, computer! That program is available.
Thanks, Major. Thanks, Major.
Specified security clearance deleted.
Thanks, Major.
Particle density at the measured coordinates was 1415 per cubic meter. Try your luck again. Tomorrow you could be a winner.
Thanks, Major.
There is no log entry from the shuttlecraft Curie for that star date. Replicator systems are offline at the request of Stellar Cartography.
Thanks, Major.
Feel you creeping close to me.